3 kilograms, 35 days. Most farmers say it's impossible without pumping birds full of hormones or watching half your flock die in the last week. They're wrong. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly why. But here's the thing. The real secret isn't what you're feeding your birds. It's what happens in the first 72 hours of their life that determines everything. Miss that window, and it doesn't matter how expensive your feed is. You've already lost. Stay with me, because what I'm about to show you changes how you think about broiler production permanently. My name doesn't matter. What matters is that 3 years ago, I was pulling 2.4 kilograms average at 42 days, and I thought that was good. Then a poultry nutritionist sat across from me at a conference and said something I'll never forget. You're building a Ferrari engine and mounting it on a bicycle frame. I had no idea what he meant. By the end of this video, you will, and you'll never look at a day-old chick the same way again. Let's get into the 2026 formula. Forget everything you've heard about starter feed being just starter feed. The first 3 days of a broiler's life are the most commercially important 72 hours in your entire production cycle. Not day 28, not day 35, day 1 through day 3. Here's why. A broiler doesn't grow muscle first, it grows bone first. The skeletal frame is what carries the muscle mass. And if that frame is weak, fragile, or underdeveloped, one of two things happens. Ascites, where fluid builds up around the heart because the body can't handle the growth pressure, or leg disorders, where birds collapse under their own weight in the final week. Think of it this way. You can put a Ferrari engine in a car, but if the chassis isn't built to handle that torque, the car tears itself apart on the first hard turn. That's exactly what happens to broilers with poor early skeletal development when you hit them with high-density finisher feed at day 21. So what's the fix? Early enzyme loading. In the first 3 days, your starter feed needs to be formulated or supplemented with specific enzymes, phytase, xylanase, and protease. These aren't exotic. They're available in almost every commercial premix on the market. But most farmers don't prioritize them in the starter phase because they don't see the immediate payoff. The payoff comes at week 4. When your birds hit that final growth phase and you need the frame to hold 3 kilograms of muscle, it's already there. Solid, dense, and ready. Calcium and phosphorus ratios in the starter are non-negotiable. The target is a calcium to available phosphorus ratio of 2-to-1. Not 3-to-1, not 1.5-to-1, 2-to-1. Even a small deviation at this stage compounds into visible leg problems by day 28. Write that down. We'll come back to why it matters at the end. Now here's something most nutritionists don't talk about, because it sounds almost too simple to be worth mentioning, but it's responsible for more feed efficiency gains than almost any premix on the market, and it costs almost nothing. Water pH, that's it. That's the hack. Your bird's gut health, specifically the small intestine's ability to break down and absorb protein, is directly controlled by the pH of what they're drinking. Most farm water supplies sit at a pH of 7 to 8. That's too alkaline for optimal enzyme activity in the digestive tract. When gut pH is too high, 2 things happen. First, pathogenic bacteria, Clostridium, Salmonella, thrive. Second, the digestive enzymes your birds produce naturally become less effective. That means every gram of expensive feed you're pouring into those drinkers, a percentage of it is passing straight through and landing in your litter as ammonia. You smell ammonia in your house? That's not just a ventilation problem. That's feed you paid for turning into waste. The fix is water acidification. Organic acids, citric acid is the cheapest and most accessible, added to drinking water to bring pH down to between 5.5 and 6.5. This creates an environment in the gut where your bird absorbs maximum nutrition from every gram of feed. The economics are straightforward. If your feed conversion ratio drops by even 0.1, say from 1.85 to 1.75, Across a 10,000 bird flock using 2 kilograms of feed per bird, that's 2,000 kilograms of feed you didn't have to buy this cycle. That's not a marginal gain. That's a meaningful profit shift from a product that costs almost nothing to implement. But, and this is critical, acidification doesn't work if your protein sources aren't right. And this is where most farmers are being silently deceived. Tell me if this sounds familiar. You go to buy feed, you see the protein percentage on the tag, 22%, 23%, maybe 20%, and you make your decision based on that number. You're making the wrong comparison. The protein percentage on a feed tag tells you almost nothing useful about how fast your birds will grow. What actually determines growth rate, muscle deposition, and feed efficiency is the amino acid profile inside that protein, specifically lysine, methionine, and threonine. Here's a simple way to think about it. Imagine you're building a brick wall. Total protein is the total number of bricks. But if half those bricks are the wrong size, lysine is missing, methionine is low. You can't complete the wall no matter how many bricks you have. The body doesn't store excess amino acids. It burns them as energy. Expensive, inefficient energy. This is what we call metabolic fatigue. The bird is working hard to process protein it can't use, generating excess heat, increasing water consumption, and diverting energy away from muscle growth. When evaluating a finisher feed for the 2026 formula, these are the minimum amino acid targets to look for on the specification sheet, not the bag, the spec sheet. Digestible lysine, 1.0% or above. Digestible methionine, 0.45% or above. Digestible threonine, 0.65% or above. If a feed supplier can't give you a digestible amino acid specification, not total amino acids, digestible, find a different supplier. Total amino acids include fractions the bird simply cannot absorb. This one change in how you read feed specifications can be the difference between a 1.9 Berry FCR and a 1.7 FCR. At scale, that difference is the margin between a profitable cycle and a break-even cycle. Now we're in the final stretch, day 25 through day 35. This is where the flock can unravel completely if you don't understand what's happening inside these birds. A modern broiler at day 30, growing toward 3 kilograms, is metabolically extraordinary. Its heart is pumping at a rate that would be alarming in any other animal. Its breast muscles are generating heat continuously. It is functionally a heat engine walking around on 2 legs, and heat engines need cooling systems. In the final 10 days of the production cycle, ventilation is not a comfort issue, it is a mortality issue. Sudden death syndrome. Cardiac arrest in fast-growing broilers spikes in weeks 4 and 5, and it spikes hardest when nighttime temperatures drop and ventilators get turned down to save energy. That temperature swing, warm days, cool nights, triggers a cardiovascular stress response in birds that are already operating at the edge of their physiological capacity. The result is dead birds in the morning. Target litter temperature, not air temperature. Litter temperature between 28 and 30 degrees Celsius. Air temperature at bird level, not ceiling level, between 18 and 22 degrees Celsius during the day, no lower than 16 at night. Lighting matters here too. Continuous light or aggressive lighting programs in the final week increase feeding activity. And feeding activity means more metabolic heat, more cardiac stress. Shift to 18 hours of light and 6 hours of dark from day 28. This gives birds a metabolic rest cycle and demonstrably reduces cardiac mortality. Monitor stocking density closely. At 3 kilograms per bird, you need a minimum of 0.075 square meters per bird. Most standard calculations are based on final live weight. Recalculate yours based on your 2026 target, not your historical averages. Let's bring this together into your 35-day checklist. Days 1 through 3, enzyme-loaded starter, 2-to-1 calcium-to-phosphorus, water acidification begins. Days 4 through 14, starter to grower transition, maintain gut pH protocol, verify amino acid specs on grower feed. Days 15 through 24, finisher introduction, lysine and methionine targets confirmed, increase ventilation incrementally. Days 25 through 35, lighting shift at day 28, litter temperature monitoring daily, no cold night drops, stocking density verified. That is the 2026 broiler formula. Not a shortcut, not a gimmick. A precise sequence system where every phase builds on the last. Chassis first, gut efficiency second, amino acid precision third, heat management fourth. 3 kilograms at 35 days is achievable. Farmers are hitting it consistently right now. Not with luck, not with banned substances, but with this kind of systematic precision applied from hour one. If you're already hitting 3 kilograms in 35 days, drop a comment and tell us what feed ratio got you there. If you think this timeline is a myth, tell me why in the comments. I read every single one, and I'll debate the math with you right there. If you're not subscribed yet, this is the kind of content I put out every week. Practical, numbers-driven production science for serious farmers. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one.